Hello, my name is Aaron Cavanagh and I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Post-Burnout.com. Post-Burnout.com is a culture website dedicated to venerating burnt-out artists the world over. This is our website's podcast where we publish full-length recordings of our interviews, which are sometimes the unedited versions of our site's articles and at other times are exclusives. If you're a returning listener, thank you for coming back, and if this is your first time listening, thank you for checking us out. We hope you enjoy and consider subscribing, giving the episodes a thumbs up if you're on YouTube, or giving it a rating if you're anywhere else. It really helps us out. Thank you. Alright, in this edition of Post-Burnout.com interviews bassist and vocalist Shawn Legaspi and drummer and vocalist Willow Leavey of the Dublin alt-rock/metal duo SHALLO discuss their formation, their upcoming single Betrayal, which is released this day next week, the EP they're currently working on that's expected to release after they're finished their college courses, their future plans after the EP, and much more. This is an interesting interview. I was very sleep deprived when I recorded this. I think the night before I'd only gotten like an hour or two of sleep, so I was a little, I don't know, a little loopy, a little out of sorts, I say, a little delirious. So I think this is actually a very interesting interview if you can get over the fact that I sound drunk, even though I'm not. Okay, but yeah, it's probably the funniest episode I think of this podcast, which isn't really saying much because it's a pretty dry show. So if this is the first episode you're listening to, they're not always like this unless you like it like this, in which case it can be. Tell me what you want, please. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.
Hello.
Hey Sean,
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
All good. I remember Willow telling me, like, by the way, the podcast starts immediately when you join, so I was ready.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I should start giving people prep time, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
It's just chill, it's like kind of what's the word? Like impromptu, I guess. Like
Yeah.
like casual, just vibes.
Damn, I'm trying to put people on the hot seat. That's my intent.
Well, I was ready for it. I was
Damn it.
I was listening to the Daria podcast actually.
Hmm.
And she was also I remember her being like, "Hi Willow." I remember her being like, "Oh, it started."
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's good to throw people into the deep end, I guess. I don't know. The reality is I just don't have the I guess the knowledge of how to do it properly.
Just
So
before we get started, there's someone hoovering right outside my room, so if you can hear it, let me know.
I can't hear anything, so
is that hoovering I can hear? It's literally all I can
is
hear.
someone getting the house clean?
Is someone talking? All I can hear is hoovering.
I was like, Willow,
Good
just speak up a little bit.
podcast.
The podcast is just
Yeah, how's it going, Will? It's nice to see you again. It's been
Yeah,
800 years or something.
It has been about that. Um, I'm okay.
Okay. I believed you until you start crying.
I promise I'm fine.
We're just in like the last 2 months of college,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it's taking years off my life.
So
It's
you're
a
in your
lot.
final year, yeah?
Yep.
Fun. Is that where he's met at BIM or?
I know we met each other when we were in secondary school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you do the same course? So I actually can't remember the lore I have of Shallow at the moment.
Oh, I
Uh,
mean, it starts really. Oh, should we? We love telling people the story like the story like this because it
Yes.
involves an ex-friend of ours who
Tell
is
you what, Sean. You take it from secondary school up until first year, and I'll go from first year.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So we both went to Portmarnock Community School in Portmarnock,
Shout out.
and
Shout out.
yeah, shout out PCS. I'm going there on Monday for a musical. My sister goes there still, so
Okay.
but yeah, so we met there. I think it was like third year was when we properly talked
Yeah,
because we weren't in any
we knew
classes
each
or anything.
other. We knew each other since we were like 12.
I think you use 12 as like the default age for when you meet people.
No, I joined school when I was 12, and I met a lot of people when I was 12.
I don't remember seeing you until third year.
I saw you. Okay, never mind.
I'm just unaware. Anyway, we properly like started chatting then. But we weren't really close until like transition year, so fourth year. That was when a mutual friend of ours he wanted to start a band. Um, at the time, I could just about hold a note vocally. And there's like this songwriting workshop or whatever. Because in TY you just fuck around basically.
Mhm.
And he heard me sing and I was like, "Oh, do you want to join this band? Like, my friend Willow's in it." And I'm like, "Oh, Willow, I know Willow." It was a so we yeah, it was a we joined the band. It was like a
Yeah, it's funny because basically I had left a band around the time, like my first band when which I joined when I was like 14, and then that friend and I were like we should start a band together because we both knew we were musicians. He played guitar, and I was new to bass at the time. I was just playing drums at the time properly. Um, I remember him just texting me and being like, "So you know Sean, he's in our band now." Like, okay.
yeah. So like that band lasted until like the summer after we finished like the Leaving Cert. Kind of
It didn't. Like
yeah.
the last like official rehearsal for that band was around the time, but he hadn't been in a rehearsal at that point for like a year and a half.
So like unofficially Shallow had started, but not like in the
We
way that
had
like we have like let's write songs together. It's just like
at the time we were just like, what are we?
Willow. I was like, I'm so confused. But yeah, like, I mean, like with that band, we didn't even do gigs. We did like school shows.
Yeah.
We were really like a secondary school band. We did one like talent show in Drogheda one time. Um, we got through. We got past the auditions, but then the first round they didn't let us go through. Actually, do you know? I don't know if you know the band Public Warning at all. If you've heard of them.
Um, I recognize the name. Yeah.
I think they're like from Trinity or something, or they
Hmm.
go to Trinity. They were one of the bands that in that thing, and now they have like a thousand followers on Instagram. Like I swear they have some sold out shows in like Whelan's or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's great, guys.
Remember us? Yeah.
Like you remember us? Probably not.
Yeah, we were not that good.
Yeah, I mean, like the sort of genre of the band is
Have you heard the band Led Zeppelin?
Led
Oh,
Zeppelin
are
mixed with
they?
like AC/DC. Not that band. Will and I's old band.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, like Jimi Hendrix, because that mutual friend was the guitarist of the band, and also the main songwriter. Um, yeah,
And also 55 years old.
who's actually
He
the
was
youngest of us.
he was younger than all of us.
Yeah. In spirit, in some way, yeah. Though, like, yeah, he always wore flat cap. I feel like we're just roasting him at this point. Whenever Will and I talk about him like this, it always ends this way.
I mean, I hope it's on it end on amicable terms. I hope it's not just gonna be like, listen to this, going, "Ooh, that's what they thought."
No.
Breaking news, Shallow killed. No, to like kind of cut to the end, we're not like friends with him anymore. But
Okay.
like last year, he did like reach. Or it was last year, like the year before, he reached out to me because I was closer with him at like near the end of our friendship than Sean was to him. And we had this like very nice conversation where he was like, "Oh, sorry for not being super nice all the time. Hope you're getting on well." And I was like, "Thank you. Hope you're getting on well." So like I don't actually have any like bad blood there.
Sean, on the other hand.
I mean, there was a thing. I'm not gonna get into what the thing was, but there's like a thing between me and him personally that like it was more because like I was friends with him first than Willow was, I think, because
Yeah.
with that friend I met in like sixth class of primary school. Um, So that was ages ago. But then yeah, something happened, and then like he was just mean for after that point. Like not even just to me, but like to our friend group.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Willie, do you wanna take it from there in terms of the shallow origin?
Yeah. So
No,
that,
no, keep shit talking this guy.
that-
Let's say on this train track.
We can get to it later. We can get to it later.
Stop recording. No. Um, yeah, so then we got into first year of college, and at this point, that band hadn't really done anything. We did have one performance together in college, actually. I think I was it for one of your exams, Sean, or was
I
it one of
think
his?
Sorry,
so.
just to be clear, were you doing the same course or were you doing different courses?
At the time, me and the friend were in the same course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh, and Sean was in vocals. I moved to vocals after second year.
okay.
Um, but yeah, was it your exam or like one of his? I can't remember,
No,
Sean.
it was definitely mine. I think
Yeah,
like for like
where
an end of term like
yeah,
audition exam thing.
like right at the beginning of first year. Um, and that was kind of the last thing. Uh, and yeah, basically when that was definitely no longer a thing for the three of us. I just remember Sean had a song out on Spotify called Queen of Deceit. Uh, and
It's
I
not
listened.
good.
A relax. It had been out for like a year or two at the time,
I think so, yeah.
and I was like, this is a really cool song. The drums you wrote are fucking terrible. Because this is Sean can write like a good drum part now he has, but at the time I think he had no idea what he was doing. And I think I brought it to you where I was like, hey, I like the song. We could do it for one of your exams, because it was like a bass and drums rock song. I was like, I'll rewrite the drums, and he was like, yeah, sounds good. I did, and we really liked it, and that was kind of the beginning of Shallow, but it wasn't yet officially called Shallow. It was just Sean, and I was like, oh, I'm just playing drums for my friend Sean's song, and then it was kind of after the halfway point of first year where Sean brought this song to me that was very different at the time, called Search Within, which even though we worked on a song beforehand, to me that's the first Shallow song, because it was the first song that we worked on together properly. Um, and yeah, it was right like we had like one rehearsal where we worked on that, and then after we were, I remember Sean texted me like, "Hey, are we a band?" And I was like, "I think we are,"
What are
and
we, Willa?
that's what we are.
What are
Um,
we?
yeah, and then we came up with a really creative naming idea, which was, well, let's put our names together
Mhm.
and then cut the W at the end of Willow off to be cool.
To make it
Uh,
unique.
to make it so it's not just a word. Um, and yeah, that was kind of the beginning of Shallow. We played our first gig after first year in the Grand Social. Uh, we've played many gigs in Fibbers since then. A lot to like,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, to like second year and stuff. And yeah, I've honestly lost count of the gigs we've played. It's probably like around 20.
We kind of grinded it. Like it's
Yeah.
been a lot.
Yeah, in second year we were very busy with gigs, I think, and a bit in third year, and nothing in this year. We had one gig, we had a gig in the summer, and we had a gig right at the beginning of fourth year. Uh,
Yep.
but and since then we've been like, no, I'm too busy. Um,
Well, you gotta get your
yeah,
education. That's the most important thing of all is having your third degree. Sorry, your what's it, BA you're going for?
yeah.
Yeah, the bachelor's honors
Yeah, you gotta
degree.
have that. You gotta have
Yeah.
your bachelor's honors.
Yeah, this
You
music
gotta have
degree,
your bachelor's
it's
honors.
gonna take us places.
Sorry guys, I couldn't open the Three Arena tonight. I have to study.
So how have you been finding, I guess, this year now? You kind of mentioned things have slowed down a little bit as you've had, um, have to focus on like finishing college. But generally, how's it kind of been mixing the two throughout your career? I mean, mixing shallow with your third level education, as well as any other obligations you have.
Yeah.
It's I think it's fun. I'm talking Sean, fuck you. Um,
I didn't want to talk anyway.
uh, I think I feel like a lot of bands that kind of start in first year wouldn't last until fourth year
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stress that just happens in college throughout your 4 years. I think this is part of what uh, makes Shallows to me such a strong band in general, is that it just started from me and Sean being best friends. Uh, where it's just I really like this guy. I just like hanging out with him. And we both like the same kinds of music. And oh shit, we wrote a song together. What happened? How did that happen? Where like we've had times where like we're really stressed both individually and together for a variety of reasons over the past couple of years. It's never like spilled onto each other.
Mhm.
It's never like I can't talk to Sean, he's stressed. Or stuff. It's I don't know. I feel like it's also kind of easier because it's literally just two people, where the band dynamic is just me and him. So it's just like we have a strong relationship. So the band's relationship is strong. And that kind of kept the possibility of Shallow disbanding in college from ever being a possibility.
Mhm. Sean?
You can talk now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I
I was
just
holding
want
my
to make
breath. I was
sure you
holding my
had
breath.
your time.
No, like
We should
really
like a
kind of.
parliamentary thing or something.
So can I put my hand up, guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, like everything Willow said is like completely like accurate and correct. And it's kind of like I don't think there's much of a thing of like balancing college with the band because a lot of what we did for the band was like college related. Um, like obviously we did gigs outside of BIM, but there's a lot of those like BIM organized gigs that you have to audition for, and Shallow did a lot of them in first,
Yeah.
second, and third year. For this
We
this
got into
year,
one.
hmm?
We got into one
We got into one. Yeah, played Whelan's main room one time
with our song Coin.
live at the bunker. Shout out Spotify. Shallow, yeah. Um,
Shout out Spotify for all the great work you do.
but yeah, like I don't know. It's just been easy and like for the longest time, Shallow was like the only band I was in. And then I joined another band called Bedhead. Shout out Bedhead underscore band on Instagram. Um,
I'm gonna
but
just censor all that going.
it's like so many shout outs.
I joined another band called.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
We're gonna-
relating. Oh yeah, sorry.
Very good.
Like relating that dynamic to Shallow is so like I don't know. Shallow feels easier to manage because as Willow said, like oh just us two. If there's any like concerns or whatever, and we know that we have each other to listen to, and we know each other's like personalities so well, in that way. But in like a bigger band where like, I'm not as close with everyone. Like I'm close with like a few people, but then like some people I'm not as close with. I'm still like, but like they're just still great people. It's hard to sort of communicate things, and in that case there always has to be like a band leader, like someone to sort of take the reins. In this, it's like there's no real leader, I guess. Like
Yeah.
someone like
I feel like one of the biggest things that can cause a downfall for a band that just isn't present in Shallow is like ego. Um, like I've been in so many bands where ego is a thing, as in like a negative thing, and that is like the downfall of the band. Uh, Shout out every other band I'm ever in. Fuck you, Raining in December. No, no, sorry.
Vinny, you better watch out.
He's gonna kill me for saying that.
I'm gonna do total clickbait with this interview. I'm gonna be like, Willow announced his departure from Raining in December. Just try and get a picture of Vinny, just like with a shock face, and then the red arrow and all that shit. Just make it real looking.
It's just a photo of me and Sean holding hands walking off in the background.
And then Vinny just like,
Oh God.
It'd be the most
Um,
AI generated slop you've ever seen in your goddamn life.
but yeah, like Sean and I do have very like similar tastes on a lot of stuff, but occasionally we'll be like, oh, I don't like that, or I
yeah,
prefer this. There's I'm and this is a surprise for me because I'm a deeply anxious person about everything. I'm never anxious to be like, I don't like that to
Yeah.
Sean. It's just the years of experience with him that I'm like, I don't need to be nervous around this person. It's fine. Um, yeah, I just think to me a band is a relationship uh, in itself, and if you're going to take a band really seriously, you need to have a strong relationship dynamic with each other. Um, it's one of the reasons I do really love playing in Rainy December. I'm sorry, Vinny. Uh, is because like the two guys in Rainy December, Owen and Vinny, are really good friends of mine. I love those guys a lot. I just like spending time with them, and I feel comfortable with them. Uh, that's more important than can you play an instrument well. To me, and that's like one of Shallow's strongest like parts of us is just like that guy.
because we're absolutely shit at our instruments.
Well,
You can't be like, well, one of us is.
Yeah. Like if one of us is going down, the other's coming down with them. Like
Yeah. So
but yeah,
what I understood from what Willow was saying there, and I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, but it's that the dynamic works a little better when it's just the two of you because monogamy is the only legitimate relationship, is how you were saying, and that all other forms of relationships
whoa,
are
we didn't say
perfunctory.
that.
No, that's what Willow was saying.
real,
I'm
and
just
I've
trying to make sure.
real, and I've been saying that.
Straight facts, actually. Yeah, monogamy is the
Now that
way.
you bring it up, gay people.
Yes.
Willow, do you have something to say?
We'll just let that linger in the air, and each listener can have their own interpretation. Gay people, yes.
Gay people.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very nice.
It was that. It was that voice. It's like, "Gay people."
I just imagine a guy with like a monocle and a top hat and like a really like fancy coat,
That's
like
my
cane.
listenership.
Yeah.
Just like
That one guy in this palace, like, oh,
Hello, sexual.
there's a new episode out. Shallow.
how curious.
I should give this a listen. It's kind of Sean Connery, I guess. That's where I just can't keep doing the impression until it eventually sounds like somebody.
It's just James Bond.
Yeah. James, yeah, that's like yeah, ever since MGM took over the James Bond license or Amazon took over, it's just gonna be like him with like Amazon products and shit like that. He's just gonna be like,
He's sponsored all the
play,
time.
play my podcast,
Alexa.
Oh,
Alexa. I think we got a bit derailed there.
maybe a little.
It's how it is.
So you kind of mentioned playing gigs and stuff, like you've been playing pretty consistently for the last couple of years. I mean, is it easier to kind of arrange gigs with as a two piece, or are your schedules kind of similar, or is it kind of a bit dispersed? As you were mentioning, you playing other bands, so how it's actually getting gigs and committing to gigs as a two piece, is it better than if it was like three to five people, or?
You can talk this time, Sean.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, again, sort of going back to the other band I'm in. There's 5 people in it, including me. and that's always like a. And some people are not that great at texting,
Hmm.
or looking at messages.
Yes, that's
So
me.
Shout out.
yeah, like so
Yeah.
if like someone's like, oh, um we have this gig opportunity for whatever date it is. It might take honestly like 2 weeks for everyone to be like, oh yeah, I'm free that day.
Yeah.
And then by that time, like, we wasted maybe like time talking about how when we're free instead of doing rehearsals for the gig. And then in
Right.
the end we got like one rehearsal to do it, and like we can't work on any new music in that time. But in Shallow, again, because it's the two of us, we're just like, there's not even like a Shallow group chat. It's just the DMs. We're just
Yeah.
like, hey, I mean, usually, so it kind of slightly off topic, but we separate like mostly we separate like WhatsApp texting is for business related stuff, and then Instagram is for fucking around.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like honestly, I'm just like, if I see Willow, like if I'm seeing Willow that day, I'm just like, hey, I got a text from whoever like asking if they want to play, if we want to play, and we're just like, yep, cool, and then we set that date, and it's grand.
So that's cool. I mean, like that's just like it seems like a real laid back kind of way of going about things. I mean, I know. I mean, how much of that is based on you two having kind of a similar sensibility as well as a similar, uh, um, I guess schedule. I don't know how similar your schedules are. I'm just surmising. Um, but I was wondering, like, how much of it is just based on similarities in terms of what you're both capable of doing.
What do you mean by like both capable of doing?
Well, I just mean in terms of like when you're around and things like
Like,
that, just your
yeah,
availability kind of.
like physically being like free to do
Yeah.
things.
All right. I mean, but obviously both of us are in college and both of us have jobs. Uh, both of us work Saturdays. Um, I work the weekends at a cafe, and Sean teaches kids music. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, one of us is slightly more related to music than the other. It's fine.
Just keeping score.
Yeah.
I am.
But it's generally fine. The only day consistently that we not can't do, but would rather not do is like Thursdays because I have class at 6 p.m. On a Thursday, and that's my only class that day. Uh, whereas every other day,
That
uh,
should be illegal.
I'm actually fine with it because I am a night owl. I
Yeah.
to me that's the middle of my day. Like ideally, I'll go to sleep at 4 in the morning if I can. Um,
Terrible.
but chill, don't worry about it. That's our difference. Like Sean goes to bed at 10 p.m. like a good boy. Um,
I'd love
If
to
I
see
can
that.
help it,
Like you go
honestly.
to you go to a shallow gig and at like some point in the night, Sean falls asleep and Willow just wakes up and it's just like
Honestly, it's the other way around though.
really.
Willow doesn't go to bed until late, but she gets sleepy early.
Yeah, no, I'm kind
I
of the same.
I don't know what my okay, side tangent. My brain is broken. Um I get sleepy really easily, but then I'll like for example yesterday we were out at Man the Step where Vinny works with a couple of our friends, and we were probably heading home a little after like 8 p.m. I am gone. I am exhausted. I am like deliriously tired. When I get sleepy, I am like there's no hiding it. Um, I get home and I'm just suddenly not tired anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? And then I'm up until fucking 3 in the morning, and I'm like, but I was sleepy 5 hours ago. Why am I still? Why is it 1 in the morning and I'm in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Like, uh,
No, I totally
yeah,
relate to that. For what it's worth, I share your pain. I don't have a solution. Otherwise, I would have implemented it myself.
yeah. I think, and I strongly believe that if we were in olden days of hunter-gatherers, I just would have been like a nocturnal person to watch over people while they were sleeping, and they
The
watch
night
over
watch.
me while I was
Yeah.
exactly because I genuinely, like if like societal pressures were removed, I would probably be nocturnal.
Yeah.
I do my best work at 1 in the morning.
See,
Uh,
I used to think like that, but then like I once got a job that was nighttime shift and it's awful. I would thought, yeah, I do much better at night, but then I did it. And I was like, this is awful because like it completely fucks up your circadian rhythm when you have to be like, oh yeah, I have to go into work at 10 p.m. and leave at like 2 in the morning or
Ugh.
whatever. So
yeah, to me that's different because to me productivity is related to things I want to be productive at.
yeah,
Where like I have a job. The earliest my shifts tend to start is 9 a.m. And it's generally a little easier for me because I live really close to the cafe that I work at. Um, but
don't
like,
dox yourself.
yeah,
It's actually
Getting squatted because it's fucking interview.
yeah. I say it, the door crashes down.
Yeah.
But um, to me, that's
It's
not me
like you
being
hadn't
productive.
even uploaded it
how are you?
yet.
Don't worry about it.
It was just a
Um,
Zoom call. What the hell? Then it was one of us.
Jesus Christ. Um, but
Watch
like
out.
to me, that's not being productive. That's me getting paid.
Yeah,
Uh, what I'm doing at 1 in the morning isn't making coffee.
yeah,
For people, I'm like working on college stuff. I'm writing things. I'm coming up with ideas for songs. And that's to me like where I'm productive, and my brain likes to do that. Uh, from like 11 p.m. till 1 in the morning.
yeah,
Most of the time. I think to me, getting sleepy at 8 p.m. is like an afternoon nap.
yeah. No, I think yeah. Do you nap much? Or I don't know what this keeps going on such mad tangents. Now I'm just asking about your sleep
It's
pattern. But
great.
do you nap much during the day or?
I actually don't. I have, but I think part of me wonders if this is like an autism related thing that I'm very bad at going from one to the other.
Mm,
It takes me a long time to get to sleep, and it takes me a long time to come out of being
yeah.
asleep. Uh, Remarkably, I'm very bad at transitions. Um,
Heyo.
You'll get him next time.
I'll get him next. No, I won't. I'll be sleeping tomorrow. Um, but yeah. I have like taken naps before. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
The whole idea of like taking a nap and waking up a half hour later, refreshed. First of all, I'm waking up 3 hours later,
yeah.
and second of all, I'm not waking up refreshed. I'm waking up on a different planet.
All confused.
I've got pains in
Yeah.
my body. I didn't know that I had those body parts.
You're like
Um,
sweating as shit. You're just like really hot
yeah,
and warm.
like I'll take naps when I'm sick, but like when I'm healthy, like I can't afford to take naps. Because it'll if my sleep schedule is fucked up now,
Mhm.
imagine me accidentally taking a 3 hour nap from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Sean, how's your sleeping pattern?
Honestly, out of like most of
I
our
felt it rude
friends,
not to ask. Willow's
yeah,
laughing.
no, that's okay. Willow, out of like most of our friends, I'm actually the best sleeper, I think.
Willow, do
Yeah,
you agree with that?
I will actually say yes. A lot. I think Sean,
Congratulations, Sean.
uh,
thank you
Sean,
guys, thank you guys. I try
Sean
my best. I
has
try my best.
Sean is like the most like I feel like Sean lives life like a life advice advert from the 1950s.
Okay.
Um, as in like he's getting ready for bed at 8 p.m.
It's so good. It's amazing.
I think that's secretly calling Sean a misogynist.
It
He's like a
is.
1950s.
Um, it's not a secret at all.
Women.
Uh,
Hey fellas, you dogging you down?
um, we're like, yeah, Sean will wake up at like 8 p.m. No, wait, no, 8 a.m.
What?
Wrong one.
Go to bed.
Well, another day gone.
Well, time to go back.
uh, but yeah, like I'll get a text from Sean at like 7:50 in the morning, and I'm like, Who are you? I went to bed a couple hours ago. And then I'll I remember there was a point in first year where I was like, oh shit, we function differently in terms of like our sleep and how we work outside of like shallow. And it was a point where I was texting you. I can't remember what it was for. I was texting you for an exam about something, and I was working at like 11:30, and I texted you this long list of questions like, hey, should we be doing this? And you just got back to me like, dude, I'm in bed. I'm like, who are
It's like,
you?
I'm asleep. Let me go.
And you're like, I've been in bed for an hour. I'm like, what?
Though
See,
I have been like staying up later, not for any productivity reasons, but because one of our friends, Glenn, vocalist of Bedhead, we call quite often on like Discord and stuff. Again, not for important reasons. We just play Roblox together. We just hop on Roblox, and honestly,
is that not
Roblox.
important?
True, yeah. Actually,
Important.
just getting them playing against those 10-year-olds, winning against 10-year-olds is great.
Fuck them up.
So is this why you're failing your final year of at BIM?
Yeah,
Because Roblox.
yeah. I gotta repeat the whole 4 years now.
Sean is what I would describe a failure.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say Sean's what I would describe as a Roblox player.
Peak Roblox player.
No, that's Glenn. Glenn is a Roblox player to me.
Ben is a Roblox player.
Glenn drinks Monster instead of water. He's a Roblox player.
He hydrates with Monster.
Well, they used to have the Monster Hydrate, but I don't think it's on the market anymore. That was the perfect for what you're describing.
Shout out, Glenn.
I think he'd appreciate that if they came back, but seeing him in between recording like takes and
They
drinking
didn't
like
taste
Monster.
good. I like Monster, but the Monster Hydrate didn't taste good. We're obviously not sponsored. Unless one of you want to disclose something.
Shout out Monster Energy.
Shallow
Sponsor
sponsored
Shallow.
by Monster Energy. It's
drank, like,
crazy to me.
10 teaspoons of it before. Like that's the most I've drank of Monster.
Would you be willing to get some money from, but you have to have the Monster logo on your drum kit?
Let's see how the next few years go.
How much money is it? Listen, money. We could use money.
How much money is it? I don't know. I actually don't know how much it would sponsor.
If it's a good bit, Willow, you're taking it.
What?
500 euro a minute.
A minute. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's
Holy
giving.
shit.
It's giving.
The rest of your life.
We are collectively deciding that you're doing this.
Come on, we got to get that 500 euro a minute.
Actually, this is a very important question. Which energy drink would you like to be sponsored by most?
Is 7-Up an energy drink?
No.
Then none.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, now you've lost all your sponsorship deals. This interview is gonna.
Fuck my energy drinks. I don't think either
Recording,
of us
stop the
drink
recording, stop the
energy
recording.
drinks. Yeah, I don't think either of us drink energy drinks.
No.
Oh shit. Okay,
I
what
have-
brand of water would you like to be sponsored by?
Brand of water. Tap water in my Pokemon water bottle.
I don't think you're gonna get much money from that, but okay.
Nintendo sponsored me for water.
Yeah, again, like I buy I have tap water. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
smart water because the bottle looks nice.
Okay, you
I
guys need
have-
to get someone to do this stuff for you. You need to get the sponsors to just say you drink it. Just say you use this product. Just say you use this
Spar.
grill to make all your meat, sausages, and whatever. So I get.
You know those Spar like liter water bottles?
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with those. There's a point
It
where
does can't be toughed.
yeah, well, I I lost a water bottle like a couple of years ago, or like last year, and I just got like a liter bottle of water from Spar, and I would just keep refilling it, and that was just my water bottle until the cap broke off and got lost. So I was like, I need to get an actual water bottle. So shout out Spar for having a big water bottle that I used for quite a while.
Shout out Spar.
Or the goat, for real.
My God.
Okay, let's get back on track. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say seriously. I derailed this too much. Okay, let's talk about your music. Okay.
Wait, what? No.
Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Um well, you were kind of mentioned. Let's just before we talk about the music that you guys put out. Let's start with this. You were talking about like the overlap in taste that you guys found when you were talking to each other. I was just wondering, like, what sort of artists did you both like, and controversially, what artists did you not see eye to eye on?
Yeah, so Sean, shut up. It's my turn. Uh,
He
I want to
starts
hear
every sentence like that, just Sean's through them.
it. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think when Sean and I were like introduced to each other in that like first band properly, I think at the time Sean was listening to a lot more like pop and singer-songwriter music. Uh, I'm watching him to see if he's nodding. He just nodded. Like I remember Sean likes
You
Sabrina
don't need his
Carpenter.
validation.
I do. Uh, Sean liked Sabrina Carpenter before it was cool to like Sabrina Carpenter. Um, so like that sort of thing. I was always into like heavier music. I think at the time that Sean was getting introduced to rock and roll, I was introducing myself to death metal.
Mm.
Uh, but then Sean was like, I really like this Royal Blood band. And I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool. And obviously like Muse is also a big one for the two of us. I think a little more so for Sean. Even though like, I really like Muse. Um,
Would you say Muse inspires you?
Definitely, I think more so.
Were they our muse?
Um, Sean, what did I just say? Uh,
Willow's, Willow's like Willow's like, I knew what he was doing. I knew I got the joke.
um, I'm gonna answer for Sean and say yes. That that I think uses a bigger inspiration for Shallow's bass parts than Royal Blood actually is, even though Royal Blood is more accurate to like the physical setup of like the band of like a bass and drum duo.
Yeah.
You can talk now.
Okay, thank you. I would, yeah, definitely like the first like songs that we did. Um, like I mean, growing up, my dad listened to a lot of like Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, um, that sort of rock, and like I was always like, I heard on the radio, um, and they still slap, um, but yeah, like before I joined a rock band, I was like kind of like Ed Sheeran's cool. I still think he's cool. I just don't listen to his music that much anymore. Um, in BIM though, I was introduced to like metalcore and stuff. Like my taste gradually got heavier and heavier. And now I'm very comfortable listening to like deathcore. Um, I don't listen to Slaughter to Prevail, but that sort of like that sort of music.
Yeah,
Um, and like now like the bass riffs are way more like metalcore guitar riffs, mixed with that sort of Muse,
yeah.
like pop rock aesthetic.
I remember there was a point, kind of earlier in Shallow days, when it was a little more like rock than metal, uh, where I was like, oh, the bass riffs are like pretty like they're cool. Like, there's a lot I can do over them, and some of the more recent bass riffs, I'm like, Sean, what is that? I remember we have a song called "Kill the Noise," which is one of my favorites that we have. It's one of our heavier songs. And I now have the riff completely internalized, but it's a very rhythmically complicated riff that I remember having a rehearsal where I was like, I was tweaking, trying to like get this riff
He
down.
was crashing out.
I was actually crashing out. I was like, Sean, I can't understand this riff. My body won't play in the same rhythm that you're playing. So yeah, but kind of bouncing off what Sean said, I think. Most songs with Shallow tend to start with Sean, like just having the melodic instrument. It's a little easier. Um, though there have been a few songs that like I've started more. But a lot of them will start with Sean and bring them to me. And yeah, recently they've been getting a lot heavier. To me, there's kind of like two phases of Shallow songs. and it's kind of uh like to me the second phase started after the halfway point of third year, uh, where we started getting like way heavier. Um, and yeah, I'm so excited. I I I, I love our old songs. Like they have a soft spot for me. Like what we'll talk about later, the EP we're recording. There's an old song on that. It's actually Search Within. Um, that's not a metal song to me, even though there's a couple bits that you could call metal. And then there's also like a really heavy song on that. And we were just talking about our second EP, what we want to do for that. And I did up a little track list for it and I sent it to Sean, and he's like, okay, so all our death metal songs. I'm like, yeah.
We have a lot of songs actually, like a lot. There's some that I've written that we just haven't even looked at together.
Yeah.
Um, and like we literally haven't we have enough songs written for like an album and a bit, like an album plus an EP.
Hmm.
And we haven't like it's hard to um again slightly sidetracking this, but like in terms of like a gig set list, it's hard to pin one down because for Imro purposes we play Mirror and Coin so we can get the money. um but then like choosing songs in between that is always like difficult because like there's songs we really like always playing, and but I always feel like we need to change it up like every now and then because we have the ability to.
Yeah.
It's not like we're locked into like, oh, we only have 6 songs that we've written and we can play. Um, yeah,
That's perfect. I mean, so I guess we'll talk about the your music now before we get into the new stuff. It's been about 2 years, I guess, since Mirror came out. Does it feel that long? That's been like 2 years since your debut's been out.
It feels longer to me.
yeah,
Uh, did Mirror come out in the second year?
I think so. When was that? 2023
Yeah.
was it?
Aaron literally just said
2023.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't
I
listen.
do, I do, I do my cursory research.
we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Where Mirror was written first year properly. Um, and like to me that's like Search Within was the first one we worked on together, and then it was immediately Mirror, and Mirror became as we kind of said to each other the other day, like the standard, because that's like that was a point where we wrote that song and we're like, oh shit, that's really
We kind of
cool.
cooking. We
Yeah.
kind of cooking with this.
Um, yeah, and then obviously like the recording version of Mirror, I had like nothing on it because we did like MIDI drums.
Oh yeah,
I
I programmed the drums
yeah,
for that.
I notated out every single note and exactly what dynamic it should be for Sean, but Sean did it and mixed it. And this was before I started singing in Shallow as well. We're like what kind of when we released it, I had been singing in Shallow for like a couple weeks, so like there was no time for me to like record my own vocals over it as well. Uh, and because of that, I think a lot of our older songs are very different now. Uh, like our very first song that was Queen of Deceit and is now called Taking Back Control. Um,
Sorry, could I just ask, Will, did you have like
yeah,
experience singing prior to Shallow, or was it kind of just for this band that you started doing
a
it?
bit. Um, obviously I joined the songwriting stream, so like I was singing, but I almost went to vocals in first year if it wasn't for the songwriting techniques module, which is a really really good module in first and second year. I would have regretted because every other module, at least in my opinion, for my experience, is a worse version of an instrumental module. At least that's just for me. Um, but yeah, I think it was yeah around like coming into second year where we were kind of like okay, that's one of the things that will separate us from other bands is we were a two piece with two vocals. Uh, and initially it was like purely me being on backing vocals. Um, like in Mirror, for example, I'm taking backing vocals on that song. Uh, but yeah, more recent songs we tend to split lead a lot. We have a song called Tism Riz, which it has a soft spot for me because I wrote it.
Yeah,
Um, um, you'll
great
never
title.
guess. You'll never guess what it's about. Thank you. Uh, where I wrote the bass riff for that and the drums and then all the lyrics. And like that sort of song never would have happened. Even if musically it happened 2 years ago, the dynamic vocally and how that shapes a song was completely different.
Yeah, so when it comes to actually the songwriting, when it comes to the lyrics, actually in particular, do you write like your own songs and then sing them, or how does it work? I mean, well, would you feel comfortable with Sean singing something you wrote and Sean vice versa, or is it kind of like I wrote this, I'm gonna sing it?
Yeah,
A,
well, in
a,
like,
a bit of both, I think. You go
hmm,
on, Sean.
um, so like I'm sort of,
You have permission to speak.
yeah, uh, again, sort of because I am like the bass player in the band, um, and like the riffs kind of, it's hard to start writing a song on drums.
Yeah.
Like you can have really cool ideas that can be turned into songs once you add other elements in, but like I feel like on bass, at least that's how it's been for like the last 4 years. Um, like I'm sort of the one like starting the writing process.
Hmm.
Um, it used to be a lot more of just me, and then I bring it to Willow. But now it like again now that Willow's become more of like a vocalist in the band, like it's two lead vocals now basically. Um, we've had more like if I decide I'm gonna write a song, like I have the bass riff, whatever. I write lyrics as well. Mostly it's just me writing the lyrics with like Willow's feedback after the fact. But there are some songs I think where like I might have written the lyrics, but I didn't write a melody.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, do something there.
Yeah. There was actually a point in our song Search Within where when we started splitting it up, I changed a couple lines to avoid misgendering myself. Because I think there was a line like uh, something like "the man I want to be" that Sean was singing, and when we decided, I was like, and Sean sent me the lyrics. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not singing that."
Yeah.
Uh,
Fair.
That doesn't feel right.
yeah, I'm like, I want to be no. And then like with Tis and Riz, I wrote all the lyrics for that again with like a bit of feedback from Sean. I think, yeah, bouncing off that, Sean would be more used to me singing his lyrics than I would be him singing mine. It does happen, obviously. Like Sean has vocal parts in that song in Tis and Riz, and like I wrote the lyrics and stuff. And then like in my band outside of Shallow, Sean plays bass for me, and I wrote all the lyrics there, and Sean also does backing vocals for me. Um, so I think we're more used to Sean bringing us lyrics and going like, okay, let's, and I'll often like divide them up with each other. But yeah,
I like the idea. It's like, yeah, I think we're used to Sean bringing his lyrics in and it's just fucking them up. It's like,
basically,
oh, here he comes now.
It's
Just
like,
like
oh, some more
beating
lyrics.
him up and taking all his lyrics and shit.
Get him, get him.
He's like, guys, please.
My
it's just
lyrics.
me. It's just me attacking Sean.
I like that idea. That's how you get a shallow song. You just beat the shit out of Sean and steal all his lyrics and take
There
the
was
piss.
a point where we were
There was a
promo.
point where I did do that. No.
There was a point where we were promoting a gig, and we like to do little like skits when we're promoting gigs,
Sure.
and we did it in the Bunker rehearsal studio. Shout out Bunker, love you guys. Um, you know those memes or like band like
Like
trends
trends. Yeah.
where they'll be like, we're band name. Of course we're gonna be able to do this. I'm I'm this. Of course I'm like this. I'm the lead guitarist. Of course I'm always too loud. That's what I thing. Where we did one of those where it was like I started I was like, we're shallow. Of course we're gonna write those overly complicated songs for no reason. And then it cuts to Sean, but it's me like stalking Sean. Uh, and then it ends with we're shallow, and Sean doesn't know what he's fucking in for, and then it ends on me killing Sean like
Yeah.
in a different room. And
Did
as
you
this is
did you approve
happening,
that, Sean, or was that just kind of like thrust upon you and you didn't really have much of a choice?
No, I
Like,
mean,
okay, I guess I'm gonna die
like in
today.
terms of like the skits and stuff, Willow's kind of the one that comes up with most of the ideas there. Um, I do most of the editing afterwards, but like in terms of like the pure like idea and execution of it, it's usually Willow that comes up with those things. I did
it'll
approve it.
yeah, it'll often be like like for example, the way that happened, a lot of our skits have happened is like we'll be finishing up a rehearsal for a gig. We're like, we're talking about like what we will do to promo the gig, and obviously we like to do those skits. I remember with that one specifically, we were just sitting together outside the like room with the instruments in the bunker. I was like, what if we did like what if we jumped on this trend but made our own by having me like kill you at the end? And we started laughing, and that like that again. It's kind of calling back to like how Shallow just started with us just being friends. I'm not doing this because I think it'll make other people laugh. I'm like, I want to make Sean laugh. I want to make me laugh because I think this is really funny. And we watch the videos back like that's fucking hilarious. We're doing that.
I like the idea of just being like, Sean, I have an idea, and he's just like, how am I dying this time?
It's
How
like,
am I?
what's happening this
How are
time?
you killing me this time, Willow?
There was one actually that I really want to like bring this back or like do something like this again where sorry when we were filming Mirror coming out we did one where we were both in our own houses and it started with we were both in our own bathrooms basically cutting back and forth where Sean was like hey guys it's Shallow our song is coming out and Sean has like good has like good audio quality and then it cuts to me and
Sitting in the bathtub,
I was
like
sitting in the bath with that the house I was living at the time. There's the bathtub that would come up to like here if you were sitting in it, and the toilet was right next to it, and my phone would be on the toilet.
Right.
So all you see is just my head, and I'm just like, and it's such like it was a bigger bathroom, so it's so like reverb and stuff. So it's Sean like really clearly being like, "Hey guys, we're Shallow. Our song is coming out," and just it goes to like my tiny head in the screen, just like.
Hello, whoa,
It's
whoa,
just like,
whoa.
and yeah, and our song is coming out. And I remember ending that with to prove that it's not always Sean losing in these. It ended with obviously there's a drum solo in Mirror go like Sean, do you think this drum solo will get me a girlfriend? And and then it ends on Sean just like staring like in my direction.
really.
Next time you do one, you should just set up the full kit in your bathtub and then just like, and actually just record the sound it naturally
It's
makes.
there.
Yeah.
What I could actually do that would be really funny because Sean, you know, there's like the bathroom I have now. It's like a walk-in bathroom, or like a walk-in shower. I could like
Moving
I
up
don't.
in this world.
I live with my grandparents.
Woo!
I what I do. I don't have like my kit here, and I couldn't set the kit up in their house. But I do have like a drum stool, a snare stand, and like a practice pad. So I could set that up in the shower and like film something there.
You're just
Just me.
practicing like drum, like your rudiments
I
in the
I think that'd be.
shower.
You just gave us an idea, Aaron. Thank you.
There we
No
go.
worries. You can give me payments through my
No,
IBAN. I'll give you my IBAN. You give me payments.
no.
No, we,
Well,
we
then
can't do that.
I'll
Sorry.
just sue
Original
you. I
idea
have
from
the
Shallow.
evidence right here. I have all the evidence right here. You literally just said on tape, "Thanks for the idea, Aaron." So
You think
I
that
don't think that was.
matters?
look out for your court summons, I guess.
Not to me.
That'll be the first time I've ever sued a guest.
Shallow
Hopefully
sued in
not to
court.
laugh. So
But suing us for
Hopefully.
suing us
And
for
then
like an
it's like
Instagram reel.
it's like a documentary or something. It's like, and then he got a taste of suing his guests. It's just like the most
Aerial
outrageous
sewer.
It's not even like suing us over like a song. It's suing us over like an Instagram reel.
You know, it's all intellectual property as far as I'm concerned. They're all equal to me. You know what I mean?
Damn.
It all comes back to postburnout.com.
I know, yeah. But you got actually, how do you feel about the word content in terms of describing the
I thought you were
music?
just saying cunt.
What do you think of the word cunt?
Cunt.
I love it
Amazing.
so
Perfect
much.
word.
It is legitimately like one of my favorite curse words. I love it
I
so much.
think it's misogynistic, and I think any person who uses it hates women.
I do hate myself.
Okay. But do you hate all women? Or just
Oh
yourself?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of women in this world, and each of them, you see them? Yeah, yeah. Content.
To be fair though, Willow hates everyone, so like that's yeah.
Guys, I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. So,
Oh yeah,
And I
content.
believe her. We're content.
I think I don't really think about that hard. I don't think it's like I get it for some people who are sort of like, oh, you're like,
Okay,
um,
picture this. Okay, you're at like a fancy dinner party, right? And then someone's introducing you to like a big important person. They go, "Oh, this is Shawn. He's a content creator."
instead of like an artist. I mean, like
Yeah.
some people are defensive about that, and I get it as well. But for Shallow, I think I like Shallow, and I guess Will and I, at least our dynamic, we just like don't give a shit. It's like,
yeah.
uh, like we don't care how you describe it as long as like as long as you're not like hunting us down and killing us, like we're grand.
Shawn has enough of that
You're just
with
at a
me.
gig and like someone goes in with like a gun, like with full
It's like, oh
proper
god,
hunter's gear.
they're here.
It's like, where's Shallow?
I hear they make content.
They call my wife a cunt. No.
My wife's a woman.
This is gonna be the most explicit episode ever. What's
Oh my
okay,
god,
Willow?
yeah.
Willow and Shawn both go individually. What's the most offensive thing you can just say right now that will just get this thing nuked?
Um, uh, so obviously Shawn is Asian, right? Uh,
Yeah,
um, what I used to say, semi-regularly when we were in school together
I'm
is,
actually so nervous. Go ahead.
Are we
is
allowed to say stuff?
yes,
Oh, I don't
I
care. Go ahead.
I would tell him to go back to Africa. Uh, I was actually being really woke about it, where uh, because obviously
I'm
I'm
shaking my head
obviously
right now just so everyone gets to know this is an audio podcast.
obviously Sean can't so Sean is obviously isn't from Africa. I'm taking the piss out of people who would say to like a black person, go back to Africa because they're stupid. And I'm taking a piss out of them by saying it to an Asian person to go back to like the continent they're from, quotation marks, that they're not even from. Um, so I used to, but like,
Shawn, is ironic racism okay?
Ooh,
hey,
listen.
has our friendship been a lie?
I've been keeping it quiet all these years, but Willow, I got something to tell you.
That
That
was
makes me
not
really
okay.
uncomfortable.
That was not okay, and I'm leaving the band.
Yeah,
Hey,
and I'm suing you, and I'm going to the guards.
Sean has done the exact same to me on, but not for race.
He
What have I
tells you
done?
to go back to Africa.
No, as in like the exact same level of like what the fuck. Um,
I remember there's something I said that like really made you like, oh, but like in a funny way. But I forget what it was. I think
there's
I don't know.
so many.
Huh?
You make a lot of transphobic jokes to me.
Yeah, you know, them ones there.
I would never do that, Will.
I don't
For
believe
the
you.
record.
I'm just
You know,
saying, I just want everyone to know I'm a great guy. I would never say anything
you know
of
what?
such ill quality.
I
But
actually do believe that you wouldn't make transphobic jokes to me. I think you would just make transphobic comments. They wouldn't be jokes.
oh no, no, I'm the
Statements,
bigot for no reason. No, I'm
declarations.
just a bigot. I'm just like a complete dickhead for no reason. Just like
So yeah, we need to come up with an actual example of something you said to me, Sean, so it's not just me saying that I've said it
no,
to
actually, don't.
Yeah.
That's even worse. It's even worse. If you're like, I cannot recall, and you can't seem to recall either.
I just block it all out.
I just remember, like
I
I think
just
I'm
start
just actually a good
dissociating.
guy. Like I'm just really, really nice.
All right,
Sure.
let's move on. Sean's the greatest person in this
Yeah,
world.
yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron, you're pretty great yourself. Yeah.
Oh,
All
thank
right,
you. Yes.
this is what it feels like to be a woman.
Damn it. Now we're the misogynists. No. We can't win. All right. We're all bigots. We're all just horrible, horrible, awful people. Is that okay?
And I've been saying that.
Real.
You've been saying
So real, so real. Yeah.
This is going to be the worst podcast ever, I swear to my God. Let's go back to your music, shall we?
Right.
You're mentioning You mentioned before you were talking about all your bigoted opinions. You were mentioning that you have an EP coming up. Was it has it been recorded or is it still in the pipeline?
Okay,
Speak,
I guess I'll take this question.
speak,
Um,
Sean.
yeah, so we have a single fully recorded, mixed, mastered, called Betrayal, the little sneak peek there. Um, we'll get onto the lyrical content of that in a second. But
Yep.
yeah, next week we're gonna be recording drums for the upcoming EP. Because like the rest of the stuff, like vocals and bass, I can record here at home. I mean, I have my mic set up here. And I have like kind of like a mini home studio thing. Um, and yeah, like that's I think we're planning to have it released by the end of like next month or the month after that, depending on what the timeline is.
The single, not the EP.
Oh yeah, the single is at the end of this month. Um, the EP was we'll figure it out once we get like the drums recorded and stuff. But yeah, like I mean, yeah, we got music soon.
And you mentioned there, I just want to touch on this just in case there's any listeners listening who don't know. You mentioned you have your microphone set up. A microphone is a device that turns your voice into electricity so that it can be heard by other people. Could you just explain how it works real quick?
Yeah,
How does it do that exactly?
so um yeah,
Sound.
you see air wiggling. It go into a thing, and then that thing turns into electricity that turns back into audio, and then air wiggles again. So it's all just wiggling air.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm more
I'm
confused now
wiggling it
than
right
before
now.
I asked.
Yep.
So the air, why does it wiggle?
Beats me, bro.
Would
You ever heard
if
of air?
if given the option, would you not also wiggle?
I would, but does the air have sentience to make a
For
decision?
sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you believe in God?
And now for our third series, I want to start a new feature on this podcast, which is every week Willow reads a book from the Bible from start to finish.
Why
As in
me?
Willow's Bible series. I don't know. It'd just
Why
be funny.
me?
It'd just be funny.
Willow's
I don't know.
interpretation of the Bible.
I
No, no,
actually
no, 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 no comedy, no commentary, no editorializing.
It's just
Here's the
the
Bible.
audiobook.
Yeah, just the audiobook. It makes so much money.
I find the point where they're actually like gay people should die. I'm like, oh fuck.
He's like,
Well, I got something to do right now.
you would say that bit with relish, you absolute discriminatory person. You absolute bigot. You'd be like,
disgusting.
finally, here we go. The reason is
This can't be the first Shallow podcast.
and then it's like just the promo pic is just you with Bible going this. It says what?
It's like, what? I can't say that out loud on
There's like
the podcast.
a queer progress flag with like a line through it on the
No, and then you know what happened? You get to the section where you're about to say it, and then you're like, well, guys, we can't say this on YouTube, so if you want to see the full video, check out our Patreon. Just like try to sound to all that. So you definitely say it there.
Promo material.
Especially if you're queer.
So, on top of being bigots, you also like to
This can't be the first
this is
Shallow podcast.
this is the worst like promo ever. It's just gonna be like, oh my god, we can never book these people. I mean, you're never gonna get out of you're never really gonna make it in the scene, I guess. Everyone's just gonna think you're bigots and stuff. Don't blame me though. Don't
Just
blame
comes
me.
out, and we're just like,
Just-
hey, everyone, listen
Just
to
because
this
I've been
podcast.
acknowledging the bigotry.
We lose followers,
Hey
It's
everyone,
over.
listen to the podcast in brackets. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I can't wait until like you get your analytics sent after, and it's just like all the southern states of the US and stuff. You're just like blowing up.
They
You
follow
just
us.
get to worry.
Trump shouts us out in his like Instagram.
That that Asian one and that trans one, they're one of the good ones.
I was listening to Shallow, very good
Oh
band.
no.
I was listening to it, Shannon. They're very good. The best band ever.
They're from China.
China.
One of them is a transgender. We can fix it. Give it
And
time.
we like that. We like that. That's good. Very good band. I've been listening to them as I work out. They
I
only
don't
have two
know.
songs at the moment, though. I wish there was more. Wish there was an EP that I could listen to a full.
Oh my God, there's an EP.
Has any of your podcasts gone so off tangent like this?
I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm just kind of giddy, so
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
It's good
I'll be to blame for once. I'll
Because
just
like,
say
Mad
because like
vibes.
it's my favorite drink.
I thought the Rainy December one was was like crazy.
Oh,
No,
really? No, 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 no. This
that that
is this
that was
is
scripted compared to this.
yeah. Vinny wrote a script for me, and I just had to follow that to a T. And if I went off,
Call
if I
Willow a
went off the
slur.
mark, you go. It's just,
Like, oh.
you would see because you couldn't see it because it was an auditory it was an auditory podcast, but he was giving me some fucking death stares, man. He was
He
like,
was like,
so it was the scariest shit ever, you know.
You check the script and it's just like call Willow a slur. Do it right
I
now.
was like,
I'd be
hurry
like,
up.
no, I will not do that. And then everyone
I'm a
claps.
really good guy.
I'm just like,
I'm really good.
no, I shan't. It's like, "Ew."
It's like, good job.
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Before
So
we
tell
move
us about.
on,
Go
before
ahead.
we move on, I remember the one of my favorite parts of the last podcast we did with Raining December. Uh, Fun enough, near the end, you were asking me about like how is it being a trans person and living, uh, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mentioned oh like it's pretty chill walking with these two guys because they're both 18 feet tall, and in unison they flexed on camera. No one could see it, but but in unison they flexed on camera. I've now decided it's a rule that every time I come on this podcast, whoever I'm with needs to flex. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Aaron.
Getting the guns there, you know.
We can
I got
continue.
them.
For everyone listening, it's just like silence, and then just like
Yeah.
thank you, Sean.
Quick silence.
I
As
heard
if
this concept of dead air, but I don't know what to do about it.
all right, thank you, Sean. Thank you. We can move on.
All right. Yeah, I guess what I'm gonna ask now is having I guess like the first thing we put out Mirror was April 2023 if I'm getting it correct, and then Coin I think was in the summertime, it was either June or July. So there's been a bit of a sabbatical, I guess, between music being released
Yeah.
on streaming services. So was that a matter of just trying to find the sound that you want? As you mentioned, there's kind of been a bit of a transition from those songs to what the band is now. Or what was the reason, I guess, in terms of no releases in 2024?
I think a bit of all of that. I think another big thing was like busyness,
And
uh,
money.
and money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, when we went in to do that recording for Coin Live at the Bunker, it was when we very luckily won like a giveaway that they were doing. And this is how we like found out about the bunker, where I think Sean just entered us into this giveaway, and suddenly we have like 8 hours free in the studio, and we're just like like holy shit, what the hell? Um, we prepared a bit. We didn't prepare enough. We went in. We were like, we're gonna record like an EP, uh, and then we'll see what else we can do. I at the time hadn't practiced the songs enough, and I was also at the time newer to playing with a metronome. Um, and basically, we ended up with majority songs. We can't use them. We can't use those takes. We got out of it. Obviously, Coin Live at the Bunker, which we were happy with. Um, but yeah, we kind of just left that studio, uh, being like that was a kind of a shit show, and that's just on us. Um, So I think there's, at least for me, there's also been this sense of like I need to prepare for the next time, because the next time we're probably gonna be paying. Uh, it's like it wasn't too bad because like we got it for free, but we could have had more output by now at that point. Um, in my defense, shallow songs are really hard to play on drums. And that's also not my defense because I wrote the drums. Um,
True.
but yeah, I think kind of as we just said, like find like the sound developing, the money, the time. Uh, Obviously, like we were heading into uh, I think third year at that time.
Yeah.
Uh, no, we were heading into second year, I think. Yeah,
I don't remember this one. It's all blending into
it was
into
second
one.
year. I remember because it was, as Aaron said, it was a few months after we recorded Mirror, and we recorded Mirror in first year. Um, so
Can I
yeah,
just say, because Willow keeps referencing stuff I said, I'm not a great source. I don't claim to be a good source for any news or information. So
he's just a good guy.
yeah,
You're just a good guy. Yeah.
I'm just a good guy who's always false, who's always wrong. That'd be cool. Like you can make that decision in life. Sean, I'm gonna ask you this question now. I don't know why my brain just keeps going to random things. You could be a really bad person who's always correct, or a really nice person who's always incorrect. Which do you choose?
Ooh. See. Okay. Willow and I, whenever we're on the bus, I have this persona sometimes that comes out.
Where I'm
Where
driving the bus.
no, where it's a really bad guy that's always correct. And
Oh,
it's
it's not.
and like the whole air about me is just like I'll physically transform into him for a second. I'm just like
This is Spencer, by the way.
I'm just better. Just and Will ask me a question. I'm like, no, no, just
This character
get
name
better.
is Spencer.
Call him Spencer.
Uh, I think the only issue with that statement is Sean is kind of half of both, where he's a bad person and he's never right. Now,
Yeah. No. True. Yep.
That's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
mhm, where
Great.
I'm in contrast to that, I'm just stupid.
In contrast to being always wrong, I'm just stupid.
just stupid.
Those are two contrasting things.
Are you wrong or are you stupid? The two genders.
I was about to say like I'm two favorite genders.
Imagine that being the smartest person alive, but you're always wrong somehow. You know much more than everyone, but you always get it wrong.
Just get nervous.
It's like I think I'm right. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no.
the smartest person alive, but they have no self-confidence. So they could have like cured so many diseases if they just had the confidence to speak up.
It's like I don't feel comfortable around vaccines, guys.
And then it's just like it's just like I think I have a cure, and then someone's like, "What was that?" And it's like, no, nothing. And then more people just have to die because they didn't have the confidence.
Have to die. It's like
Yeah, they have to. Well, you know,
like I
it's
could save
they
so
have
many
to.
people.
Yeah, they have the cure for like a disease or something, but they just don't have the confidence to speak up and go, I actually have a solution. So all these people just have to die because of their lack of confidence. It's called the butterfly effect. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna try and stay on track here, okay? Okay. I've been slipping. I won't lie to you. I've been doing poorly. This is not my greatest interview in terms of keeping the tight ship, but I've been enjoying it. I've been having fun, but
It's so much fun.
let's get it back on track. Let's get it done. So
Lock
for the
in.
kind of music you guys have been creating, I mentioned before, I mentioned this to Willow. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you, Sean, but the first time I saw you was actually at Queer Fest upstairs in Whelan.
Mhm.
And what I thought was really interesting was how your music, like, really, was very different from everything that was on that night. I was wondering how you feel about kind of presenting your music in certain avenues where I don't know, it might be the most sort of accommodating to what you guys are doing in terms of like what you're build with. I was wondering how you find, I guess, kind of shallow fits, so to speak, within the Irish music scene. I mean, is it more metal, or is it more kind of alternative, like in terms of like where people seem to kind of resonate with the music you're doing?
I think we generally have the ability to stand out in kind of any scene. For example, at Queerfest, it was not purely like a rock or metal gig. So we stand out there because we're a metal band. Where when we've played at gigs where it's more like a lot of heavy music, there's a contrast there, both in terms of dynamic of the band and also in the music. Obviously, a lot of heavy bands, I have at least like four members, often more. Um, we have half that. Uh, we're a pair, and then even in the music, I think we have a very, at least now we have a very distinct sound to me that even if it was put on a different instrument, I would still recognize them as shallow songs. Uh, and it's this kind of modern metal sound, reminiscent of like I Prevail or a little bit of Iceman Kills. That's just me. I like Iceman Kill. Um, that sort of like I feel like we're almost too pop to be put in like a purely like okay we're death metal. But we're also way too death metal to be like okay we're a rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to make up a core right now for Shallow, what would you say? Shallow is blank core.
Uh,
Minority core.
I was gonna say Minority Core. I was gonna say
Yeah,
Minority
yo.
Core.
Minority core?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the distinguishing characteristics of minority core?
You cannot be in the majority.
Aw. Aw.
We have so many like avenues for that. Sean's bisexual, I'm pansexual. Sean's Asian, I'm trans, I'm autistic.
I have a good sleep schedule.
I don't.
Out, out.
There you go.
We can never live in harmony between people who can sleep well and people who can't. That would be when all
That's
other forms of bigotry and discrimination are gone. That would be our last
that's the
distinguishing
actual
characteristic.
that's the actual downfall of Shallow.
Mm. Sean, what do you think of the prospect of 24-hour cities? I'm just thinking of random questions.
I was so prepared, like, oh yeah, like, oh, he's gonna go back on track to like what the
Oh
thing.
no, no,
And
no,
then I
no.
was like,
I
is it
tricked you.
24-hour cities?
Yeah, yeah, the
Well,
idea
just
of
like
like a
things open
city
like 24,
that
24 hours.
operates,
It's not.
that's constantly moving, that's constantly going.
I
You
mean,
need a
hey,
nighttime economy, a daytime economy.
as long as it doesn't fuck with me,
Oh,
like
it will.
then,
Oh, it will. It will fuck with everyone.
and then I got some beef with these cities.
But Sean, it'll be good for your friend Willow, who often wants to get chipper at 4 in the morning.
You didn't think about that, Sean. You didn't think about Willow. You only thought about Sean. You didn't think about Willow.
Typical man.
Yeah, typical man.
Male dominated space, you know.
This is how I should have realized I was trans years before I did because I was never that selfish. I was trying so hard to keep it together.
Oh god.
Okay, Sean, at what point did you realize this interview was going off the rails?
I think when I entered, I think yeah. Well, I think maybe when Willow when Willow joined, and then we started talking about I
It's
forget
me.
what we started talking about. I think we started talking about like an origin, and then we like
Yeah.
mentioned like oh this friend.
Well,
Yeah.
could you explain to me the origin of species? The Charles what's the name? I almost said Charles Dickens.
Charles
What's his
Darwin.
Charles
Charles
Darwin, yeah, that's
Darwin.
one.
God, I'm so tired.
All I know about Charles Darwin is the epic rap battles of history where Charles Darwin went up against Ash Ketchum from Pokemon.
Oh, okay, because of evolution, I guess.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the video myself. I won't even pretend. I won't
it
lie.
bangs.
It banks. Well, most of those epic
Uh,
rap battles do.
uh, Ash Ketchum rhymes species with feces.
Mm.
Lyrical.
He's like,
Poetry.
you're something. Is it origin is feces?
Now, how many of these rap battle videos do you think Willow has had an influence over your songwriting?
Oh, ironically, probably a few.
As a
I
There's
percentage, will we go
one.
2%?
Yeah,
There's a
because when I was younger, I had I had like a such like a big obsession with Epic Composer history. I don't even care. They're not even a guilty pleasure for me. They're a pleasure for me. I love that shit. Uh, and a couple of them like just unironically go like so hard.
Willow.
And they go,
The Walter White versus Rick Grimes always gets
yes.
quoted like just randomly.
Whenever anyone says loser around us, we'll just go, I
Yeah.
feel you to your whole entire crew. I've seen Walter Jr. and Walker's better than you. If you
Guys,
haven't,
let's talk about the music. Let's talk about your music. Let's
if you
talk
haven't,
about your... I don't know why I'm just feeling. I'm just realizing. I'm coming to the realization now. I haven't asked fucking anything. I'm thinking about shifting through this later, and I'm like, oh my god, I literally have nothing here. So if this gets thrown up as an exclusive episode of the podcast, it's because I had nothing for an article. Sometimes I do that when I feel like I'm just gonna be repeating the same stuff anyway. I just go, yeah, I'll just put up as a podcast.
yeah, in the bin.
Yeah. No. It's not. It's not that. It's just sometimes I feel like I'm just gonna be repeating the same information too much. So I'm like, yeah, I could just put it up. You
Quick,
know what I mean?
ask me a question about being trans again. That'll separate it.
Um. Okay. As a trans person, what is your favorite book that has nothing to do with anything?
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be subversive, but I'm too tired.
As a trans person,
As
what's
a
my
trans
favorite
person,
book?
what's your favorite flavor of Prime Energy drink?
I've never had Prime Energy drink. We went over this. Neither of us are energy drink people.
Oh yeah, but you know, you gotta try. You gotta try new things, do you know,
I
in life.
haven't.
You gotta try new things in life. You can't just go through life being like, oh, okay.
I feel
Nothing could have
stagnant.
prepared me for
Yeah,
this question.
you but you asked me to ask you a question. Okay, as a trans person, can you speak for all trans people and say which is better? And this is every trans person's opinion, okay? You're about to give it now. Every
Okay.
single one. Trinity or UCD? Having enrolled in neither, which would you say is better?
Um. Sean. Your girlfriend goes to Trinity, doesn't she?
Hmm.
UCD.
Oh.
She lives near you.
She does.
Oh.
She can fucking kill me.
Be prepared for a visit.
This would be the last
My
interview with
door
Willow
comes down.
ever.
Yeah. Last anyone's ever heard of Willow.
Okay. Okay. Let's get back. Let's get back. I'm just stalling as I try and think of something to say. I literally
Background
don't have
check.
any. I literally don't have any notes. So you know,
Well, I mean, okay, I can suggest a topic if you'd like.
absolutely.
I mentioned I think I've kept mentioning it. The lyrical content for our upcoming single that's soon to be announced,
Yes,
Betrayal.
Yep.
yes, yes. Please do. Yes.
So we mentioned earlier about an ex friend we had. Um, the song was written basically like the lyrics of it is basically just talking about the downfall of that relationship between us two and him because there's sort of the main beef I guess was sort of between me and him. Um, and but Willow was sort of caught in the crossfire in that way. Um, not to sound like the good guy in the situation, but I was very like,
You're such a good guy.
yeah, thank you. But like I was very like in that situation, like sort of like oh like I'm like oh sorry about whatever all of this. But he was like, no, you're an asshole, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, what that like that's fine. Like you're free to feel that way.
hmm
Um, and like
I think
And then you ran
I
him
ultimately,
over
personally
with
don't
your
have
car.
any.
I
What?
think oh, go on.
What did you say?
Sorry. I said, and then you ran him over with your
Yeah,
car.
and then we ran him over.
I think ultimately one of the biggest themes of that song is kind of how people can handle the downfall of relationships. Um, because the fact is, him and Sean weren't going to be friends anymore, and that could have been fine. The reason the biggest reason why I'm not friends with him anymore and I am friends with Sean is because of how the two of them handled it. I, as Sean said, was kind of caught in the middle where I was like, okay, shit, my two best friends are like fighting or not fighting, like they're upset with each other. Um, and I was like trying to be there for both of them. And one person was being way nicer about it. Uh,
Not
and
me, not.
no, uh, where I never felt like I never felt like Sean was upset with me for still being friends with that other person. Which I can't say was the same way for the other person. Um, and that kind of comes back to the a lot of the lyrics in the chorus, for example, that like last line, like, did you even see her? Is Sean referring to me? Or like, I'm not the one you hurt. Like, Sean and this person hadn't been friends for a while at the point of us writing this song. Um, but it was more so like Sean's like, I don't care about this. You're hurting your friend who still cares about you. Um, and then the bridge comes along, which is when I enter uh, as lead vocal for the bridge, and like I love the bridge lyrics so much. I just enter with like, "Hello, it's me," um, where the entire song has been Sean talking to this person, and then the bridge I come in, and it's way more like I don't recognize you anymore. Um, and then obviously like in the last chorus we're singing more together. But yeah.
Perfect. And I guess just in general, I mean, when can people kind of expect to hear your new songs?
So like as I sort of mentioned before, like I hope to have it released by the end of the month because it is part of as well of part of my final year project for college, which is releasing a it was originally going to be the EP, but then we got really busy with life and college,
Yeah.
so we decided it was going to be the single, um, well I decided it was going to be the single because it's my project, um, and
I asked
yeah,
you to.
true, yeah, well we came to
When
the decision together.
if
Um,
we were in person right now, I'd
Mom
shake
and
your hand.
Dad are fighting again.
Um, um, I think there was a point where like a couple weeks ago, and we were texting about it, and we were kind of like, "Oh shit, the deadline for this is like in 2 months. Like we're not gonna have an EP mastered by in 2 months."
Meanwhile,
Uh,
this was 3 in the morning and Sean was asleep. As you're just frankly
it's like
text him.
this was a rare instance where Sean and I are awake at the same time. Um, uh, but we started to talk about it, and Sean was like, I'm gonna talk to the lead lecturer and be like, can I change it to a sync?" And I was like, yeah, please do that. Because like we had already locked in like to record the drums for the EP, which is happening next week. I think after that we're gonna be like, okay, we'll come back to this in a while.
yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, for Betrayal, sort of, I plan to have it like the last week of March. So, week starting the 24th. Um,
I'll keep an eye out and yeah, try and get this out to coincide with
yeah.
it. Perfect. Yeah, I guess one of the final things I'll ask is as you were mentioning, like this is at the end of the college year for you or end of your college career in general. So I was wondering, yeah, I was wondering what people can kind of expect now that you're kind of free of that burden in a few months. What can they expect from Shallow kind of going forward? I mean, is it more recording, more gigging, bit both?
I think a bit of both. For the single race is Sean's professional project, which is the name of the module. Mine is setting up a YouTube channel. So around the same time that Betrayal is getting released and like marketed, I'll be recording and releasing YouTube videos. Um, and
Music
that's some
videos of what?
it's called a variety music YouTube channel, so
Hmm.
it'll have a little bit of everything. There's definitely going to be some stuff for Shallow on it, um, as well as like Raining and like other people I play with. Uh, I think I want to take my own stuff outside of Shallow more seriously after the year. Obviously, I joined the songwriting stream in like first, second year. I've been a songwriter, um, and I kind of want to not prioritize that, but like put more priorities towards that. Uh, like just in general, which I think I will be able to being out of college. And with Shallow, I think kind of as we were saying earlier, it's very easy to work in Shallow. It doesn't take a lot of energy for me. Uh, not that like other bands do and I don't like it. I think just the nature of Shallow as the dynamic we have as we kind of talked about earlier, I find it very easy to work in Shallow. So I don't see that slowing down. I just see that like with us being more free, having more time to dedicate to that. So yeah, I think definitely want to be gigging more. We haven't gigged in several months, and I miss it. Uh, and definitely, obviously, we have the EP coming out, which will probably be coming out after the college year. And then, I mean, obviously, we're just talking about like the second EP. So yeah, there's lots in store for Shallow.
Are your EPs kind of like is there a concept, is there a theme about them, or how do you kind of like decide which songs should go together in terms of like complementing an overall kind of larger piece, I guess?
Currently, with the EP that we have, I don't think there's a strong like. I don't think there's a specific concept we're going for. It's more like kind of highlights or different songs through different eras of Shallow so far. Like obviously it's featuring Search Within, which is an old song. It's featuring like Mirror and Coin, which are the kind of staples for us as they're already out. And then there's a couple songs that are way more recent for us. So I think rather than having a specific concept, it's more of a we're finally releasing an EP. Here's a bit of what we've been doing throughout the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the project has been going for 4 years now. Is that correct? So would you not just wait a year and be like, here's our fifth anniversary?
Fifth
Or
anniversary here. We're dropping an EP.
are you guys too good for that?
Yeah.
Too
Well,
advanced, too forward thinking for that?
I think for the fifth year we can drop the second EP,
Yeah.
which actually does have more of a theme. I think it's mostly that sort of, as Willow mentioned, the second generation type of music, and mostly the heavy stuff. Um, and yeah, so second
Tism Race is on
EP,
the second EP.
yeah,
I'm calling it.
why not?
I
We can
I
do
ne-
it.
I need it out there.
In
It's my
terms of
baby.
gigs and stuff, do you have anything planned up for the year, or is it kind of just more focusing on releases and then what gigs happen?
Yeah, so we have one. Well, okay, we were gonna have one actually earlier in the year with I don't know if you know the band True Home.
I don't know, but I think I know the
They're like an
name
ambient
actually.
psychedelic like metal band. Declan actually of True Home. He does like sound engineering at like
In Whelan's.
Whelan's, probably some other places. He's actually gonna be recording our drums for us next week. Um and yeah, so we opened for them once in Whelan's upstairs, and they invited us back. That was originally going to be at the start of the year, but I think something on their end happened. And it's planned, like it got rescheduled to sometime in April. But it's around the same time as our exams start, so that it's going to be exams are due. So it's like a maybe right now.
Yep.
Just due to busyness, but
You
that's
guys should just drop out of college.
yeah.
It seems like all your
In the
problems
last
will
few
be
months.
solved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and like, I mean, oh, actually, there's some other there's some other stuff I can't like talk about exactly that would be happening soon. It's not fully fleshed out. Um, it's not on our end to plan. It's other people.
Do I know about this?
Yeah. Our friend that lives near me.
Yes. Okay, I didn't
Yep.
know about this.
Yep. I
As
think
just need
I think
to
it's
get
also
reminded.
being planned. It's planning. He's planning for April.
Mhm.
So we might have something in April. Oh, and also we want to do a release gig for the EP. So
Which we'll be
and
organizing.
yeah, and that one will be more of a solid thing
Yeah.
that we're promoting.
We don't have a specific release date for the EP yet.
Why don't you
Obviously,
just release it right now?
fuck it, let's go.
No, like right now, and then
Drumless.
just, everyone's like, oh wow, wow.
It's just empty noise. I think as soon
You
as
should do like
as
with video games too, where it comes into early access, and it's like later we'll add the DLC. It's like later we'll add the drums
We'll add the
La-
drums
and shit
later.
like that. It's just like get the
later
early access.
later we'll add audio.
Well, no, because you see people like pre-save my single, and you go, okay, cool, but they should do like that. They should just copy the video game model and just be like, oh yeah, we'll add all the textures later. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as soon as we're out of college, we're gonna be looking at grinding out that EP with the bass and vocals and stuff. I think once the drums are done, it'll be way quicker. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna be organizing our own gig for the EP release. We have two bands that we haven't directly asked either of them for like, hey, can you do this date or anything, but like we want them to open for us.
And if they say no, would you be heartbroken? Would you be disappointed? Would you cry yourself to sleep at night?
I'd probably myself.
Fair enough. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the podcast, but I need you now to read out the phone number to Bernan to suicide prevention hotlines, just for the sake of keeping this podcast on the air right now,
Guys.
Willow. Now,
Guys, don't do
just
it.
make up a phone number.
Don't make it fun.
I'm just gonna give them your number, Sean. He's
085.
he's really good. He's really good to talk to. I swear to God.
But only if you ring him up at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll say hello.
Don't do it.
No, it's actually,
The hotline is called 3.5 minutes with Sean.
Yeah, we're gonna be organizing that gig at the.
We're gonna be organizing a game. We're gonna be starting a suicide hotline. We're gonna record an EP.
a lot of different avenues
We're,
for us,
we're busy quiz. What can I say?
Who would actually, if that was to be a promo for an album, which artist do you think would actually do the suicide hotline? I think Lana Del Rey. She seems like a suicide hotline kind of.
I don't know if he did, but like Logic, because he made the song.
Yeah,
that was like
song, yeah.
that was like "Don't Kill Yourself."
Yeah, fair enough. So
So,
would
like,
it just be
and
would
the
it just be that
title of the
song on
song-
loop?
Yeah, the title of the song I think was like the number to like a suicide hotline.
Hmm.
So I think that one.
Imagine if you got it wrong, like in the pressing, and then like it's like just some random dude just getting his fucking phone blown up.
Or
It's like no.
No.
You call it up and it's just like fish and chips. Take it away.
Yeah. Sean, what's the worst prank you've ever pulled on someone?
Oh,
I'm just asking random questions now. I feel satiated that I have enough for an article.
Yeah.
All the articles. So
I
I'm just
have
gonna
an
ask random
answer.
shit.
I have
I
an
have a
answer
question
after
for you after.
Okay, before you ask my question, I want to answer this one as well. Though.
Go for it.
Well,
Sean-
I
Sean-
guess.
yeah.
Oh, a prank. God. I mean,
See, Sean's a really good guy, and he doesn't do that very
Yeah, he's
often.
super nice dude.
no, there was a prank that it was like oh God, this is like years ago, I think. I think one time.
Remember that prank you did where you like turned your voice into electricity?
Yeah.
That's
The
crazy.
wiggling air and stuff like that. Yeah. I think there's one where like I don't know. I think I left a glass of water that like had like dish soap in it on the counter, and I was like, oh, someone's gonna drink that, and then the throat's gonna be fucked up, and then I drank it,
And I died.
so I pranked myself.
It's the first time hearing about that. That's stupid as fuck.
I don't talk about it.
Don't.
It's
Willow,
bad.
what was your
Don't do it.
response? Oh, I thought you had a response for that, Willow. For
Sorry,
the worst
was it-
prank.
I inhaled water. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're sorry.
You're
Sorry,
dying.
I just get a little confused here.
This is the prank, actually. Yeah.
I'm back.
This is a prank.
Okay. All right. I was drinking water, and right as Sean told me he was drinking fucking dish soap, I just inhaled water. My best prank. I'm gonna be watching Sean while I say this, and I'm gonna wait for the moment where he realizes what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna look at him too.
So we were in like a park together, with some of our friends. There you go.
All right.
And
That's
basically,
all I needed to hear.
I don't know if you gather this through having conversations with me. I'm kind of a terrible person. Um, and-
I think you're lovely.
Thanks. Um, there was a point where at the time, and kind of still to this day, I like untying people's shoes. Uh, I don't know if it's like
What are you, a toddler?
no,
You're
I'm
like
autistic.
3 years old. Little
No,
imp.
no, I'm autistic.
Little imp.
Um,
Oh, fair enough. You just blame everything on that. If you got like caught like stealing credit card numbers, that'd be your excuse. Like, I just saw the numbers.
exactly. Uh, so I love the feeling of untying shoelaces. It's so much
Sorry,
fun.
could I ask Willow? Sorry, I'm just getting tangent. As an autistic person, do you think The Good Doctor is a good representation?
No,
He's always just like,
I
I'm here
am
to
a
help.
surgeon.
I'm here to help. He never like looks at anyone. He's always just like, I think
I
that
it
you're
annoys me to no end when neurotypical
you're
people are
you're
like, I can play autism. I can play
you're
autism.
you're you're going for her appendix, but it's actually her pancreas. That's the problem. He's always like
Yeah.
that.
It's a pet peeve of mine. If your brain works completely differently, if you're autistic, you cannot. I don't know. Different topic.
What
I'm
if there was an
don't.
episode of The Good Doctor where he was untying people's shoelaces? Would you be
But
like,
that's
that's
different.
fucking,
No,
that's
that's like, yeah,
there you
that's
Because
go.
him.
see, they
He's just
wouldn't
like,
do that.
but he would say, he would go, I've untied your shoelace as a prank.
Yeah. Not a fan of that. Basically, Sean and I were in a park with some of our friends, and at the time I was notorious for whenever Sean was resting, I'd try to untie his shoelaces. And there came a point where he noticed I was trying to untie his shoelaces, and usually he would stop me. He was just like he just gave up. He was like, fine, whatever. And I had never been given full access before, so
They didn't know what the hell to do.
I just kept going. I took them off. I took the laces off the shoe. I kept going and completely removed the laces from the shoe. And
Then I made a noose. I put Sean on it. And he's like, okay, I think this is going too far.
Well, like, you can't do this.
I just remember Sean like lying on his back on the grass and me holding his entire little shoelace and just going up to him and be like, look at it. And it's the only time I've seen him get like pissed. He's like, oh.
Oh, hello. Give me back my shoelaces.
And then I'm watching him put them back on, and I'm just like,
Okay.
That's my
Okay, I
favorite
got one
part.
last I got one last question for you and then I'll let you guys go. Willow, Sean, fuck Mary, right?
I love
Donald
this shit.
Trump, Elon Musk, JD Vance.
I no longer like this shit.
I've been questioning everyone about this, and I do have an answer. I'll go
Okay.
first, right? I'll go first and
Yeah.
make it a little easier.
Yeah, go on.
Marry Trump for the money, Elon because he's Elon, and then fuck Vance because he's the last option.
Um, okay. Sean, go for
You gotta go with Elon. Come on,
nah.
you gotta go with
Sean,
Elon.
yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
just
I have to be
go
careful what I'm saying here. Actually, Jesus.
fuck, fuck Mary. I mean, I JD Vance because to be honest, I don't really know him. I know he's a conservative.
He's the vice
Um,
president.
yeah, he's not one of the interesting ones. He's just like parroting whatever Trump says. Um, so who do I want to fuck? Let's see.
Your
Just that
girlfriend's
you
gonna listen
want
to
to,
this.
which is kind of like.
Out of the two of them,
Your girlfriend is watching this, by the way.
I think with Trump, it's kind of
She's
like
like she's shouting an answer. Come on, Sean.
Trump's kind of saggy, like
That's
you know.
Musk though.
Yeah, but like Musk isn't he isn't that far along in age. If you look at Trump's
Mm.
face, the loose skin is like, yeah, marry Trump, and fuck Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willow, that leaves you. We've
This is-
answered. We've answered.
Yeah, I gave a rationale.
This is the end of the line for me. Because see, every single one of them would call it gay sex.
During, they'd be like, "We're having gay sex."
Yeah. Um,
Like, no, I'm trans.
I'm gonna say marry JD Vance because literally like 10 minutes before we went onto this, I saw this clip of him from like I'm assuming a good few years ago actually dogpiling on Trump. I mean like I hate this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's such a racist. And I mean is that showing a complete lack of integrity? Sure. Uh, but it shows that at one point he at least said racism bad. So of all of them,
Oh, what a fucking lib! What a fucking SJW! Oh, racism's bad. Okay, Vance.
So I marry him to be like, hey, just can you just save the Nazi stuff for when you're not around me? Thank you. Um, then I would
No Nazi stuff around.
and now between like Elon and Trump, I'm a little torn because if I fuck Elon, then I Trump. And I think if you Trump, an actual civil war will start.
Yeah,
Where
where no one would care if you Musk.
people would care. I just don't think he has the same level of
No.
like brain rot cult following.
I'm just
Uh,
picturing he just comes out next day, Trump just like they killed Elon. It's just like
but
they
then
got him, folks.
uh, but then I do think it would be really funny to fuck Elon and have him whisper in my ear that his son was killed by the woke mind virus, uh, in reference to his trans daughter,
Yeah.
uh, and be like, "Me too, babe." You know
That's
what?
if that's what you're into, I'm not one to judge, you know, I'm not one to
Hey,
kink
hey,
shame. It's like
let's not
what's your
end.
kink? It's like oh, Elon Musk denying my identity. That's what I'm really into, you know, that's
Hey,
fine.
let's end it differently.
No, that's it. That's the end of the interview now. Thanks for
Fuck.
your time.
What's that?
Um,
Willow wants to fuck Elon Musk. We got
hey,
the exclusive.
No, there we go.
hey, relax. Um, so I'll probably say fuck Trump because I think he's at that age where I think I could him just by doing that.
Yeah.
Where I think if I told him that I'm a trans woman after, I think he'd just
Yeah.
uh instantly. So I can two birds with one stone. I can two birds with one fuck. Um, I'd
One fuck.
Elon.
Okay. I'm really thinking I'm gonna have to censor this fucking part of the interview. I'm just listening to this and I'm like, oh Jesus, I could just picture like them saying blank. I'm just gonna be like, you
You
know,
said you've been asking it a lot.
yeah, no, well, not on the podcast. I've just been asking my
Oh, just
friends.
in
It's just
general.
it's funny because I love doing fuck Mary, and it's just that one always gets everyone because no one likes any of them
It's
Yeah.
like, oh.
because there's really nothing to like at all. If there's any MAGA listeners listen to this interview, you can contact Willow at, and she will calmly explain to you why you're wrong about everything.
Yeah.
Don't
Real.
contact us.
Uh,
Sean takes a day shift. You just switch between. So if it's nighttime, you gotta go through Willow. If it's
I'm
daytime, Sean. Okay.
I'm imagining I'm like a conservative transphobic listener listening up until the point where I said I'm a trans woman and then being like,
Well, I never.
I never.
Wash. Okay, this is fun. I want to keep asking weird shit, but I want to also be conscious of your time. Sean, I'll ask you one more thing. Who's your biggest Oscar snub this year? Or do you care about the Oscars?
Yeah, I'm gonna be so real. Like the only thing I've seen is like that one guy that made a long speech or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then Killian
Adrian
That's
Murphy's
more than
Brody.
what
face.
I've seen.
That's about it. Like I don't really follow.
Conan was good. Conan was funny. I like Conan.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite French film?
Um,
Amelie, it's Amelie. I can saw the smile, it's Amelie.
what?
Willow only
That's a
watches
fucking
Star Wars
that's a
and Jurassic
fucking
Park.
yeah. What's your favorite French film? Willow.
Um,
Willow.
What's your favorite French film?
see, you fucking let me answer, jeez.
Sorry.
Um, I'm trying to think. I'm just seeing you pointing
Un
at what
film
other
de
what
français.
French film.
Un film de français.
Film.
I don't know if I've mentioned my brain doesn't work like other brains. Um,
I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like other girls. I'm trans. Um, I'm, I if a movie isn't about one of my very specific interests, I'm probably never watching it. Uh, so quick question. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Do you know the movie Signs by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes.
Is that French? No. Because
It has Mel Gibson in it.
is he French?
He's anti-Semitic, so it's close. That's not true. I'm just taking the piss, friends.
Damn. Um, uh, there was one movie I watched with a friend of mine like last year. I cannot remember it. It was about some like weird hotel. It wasn't Hotel Transylvania.
I was just about that.
Is it
It
the
was
Grand
this-
Budapest Hotel?
yes.
That's a
It's
great
also
film.
not French.
It-
It's not French, but it's a great
But-
film.
It feels more French than Star Wars.
Fair.
Yeah, you know?
I guess I can't argue with that.
Budapest is on Earth.
Les voix des stars justement. I can't speak French.
So
What was your
I don't know.
European language? Mine was Spanish in secondary school.
Spanish.
German.
Spanish. Ah.
That makes sense.
Deutsch ist scheiße.
I actually I went to
Español
went
es
to Munich.
mierda.
I went to Munich with my girlfriend, and we spoke German like literally we're both not German, by the way. We both spoke German the whole time we were there. It was great. Literally just from our secondary school like learnings. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that, Willow? Why didn't you go to Spain and learn Spanish?
I
What's
hate
wrong
Spanish
with you, huh? What's wrong with you, huh? Oh, I want to play the drum. I don't want
Ooh,
to learn language. I want
no
to learn the drum.
Spanish, English or Spanish.
This is what it feels
Fuck
to
you,
feel.
Willow. Fuck you.
What's your favorite French film?
Yeah.
Again,
Pickpocket 1959.
I reiterate, this is what it feels like to be a woman.
Damn it, anytime we
I
do
came
anything, we're
across-
gonna get accused of misogyny.
Yes,
And she's right to do it, Sean. She's right to
Yeah,
do it.
no, yeah, accurate.
it is accurate. I came across this video from like a trans woman I follow who's being like, I remember when I started HRT and I started being read more as a woman and perceived as a woman. I was confused as to why men were treating me worse, and then I realized, wait, they're just treating me as they treat women. I think
Hell
I'm
yeah.
starting. I think I'm
Hell
starting to
yeah.
experience that.
That's inclusivity right there.
Hell yeah.
Trans misogyny.
Yeah.
Trans women are women.
Inclusivity through misogyny.
Trans women are women, and they belong in the fucking kitchen. Aaron Kavanaugh, 2025.
What the fuck? I'm just getting blamed here as like some misogynistic transphobe. I don't know what I did there. I don't know what I did. All right, I'm ending this fucking interview before you slander me some more. Look out for your court summons in the post. This will never air, by the way. So I hope you have fun. This is going nowhere.
This is great.
This is the worst thing ever. What are you gonna do? Send this to your friends and family? Like, look, check this out. That was on the fucking.
My mom's just like,
Yeah,
Sean, what?
that's the worst thing you've
What?
ever done in your life.
Get out of my house.
All right, you two, fucking say something. Say whatever, where people can find you, what you have coming up, whatever. Just say your fucking band, man.
So
You're
we're a
Shallow.
band. Shut the fuck up. We're a band called Shallow.
It's a portmanteau of Sean and Willow.
You can find us on Instagram at shallow_band. We also have a YouTube channel.
We have a TikTok too.
Yeah. Find us.
No, what's the usernames for the YouTube and TikTok?
Let me look it up.
Oh shit, do you not
Uh,
know off answer?
I think no, for YouTube
We
it's like Shallow Dublin or whatever. I think same for
Okay.
TikTok. Just
we
Shallow
mostly
Dublin.
use Instagram more than others.
Yeah.
Um,
Find us on
So for
Instagram.
for those who don't know, Dublin's a city in Ireland, which is a country in the Northwest Atlantic. It's the reason they're
that's great.
called Shallow Dublin is because that's the city they're based in.
Sick. Good job.
I've just given information, Jesus Christ. My
No,
God, I
that's
feel
cool.
like I
That's
have to,
cool. Yeah, no,
you
that's
know
cool.
what I have to explain to the people at home how things work, you know? That's
Real.
what a good host does.
Sure. You can find me at hold on, as Willow Leavey, spelled Leavey. You can find Sean at Sean, spelled the wrong way, underscore SB.
You
You
forgot the
can
L.
Is it yeah,
Sean L.
Sean L, common L, underscore SB. You can shout out Bedhead, Rating December, and Porge, spelled like porridge but wrong.
Just saying spelt something but wrong
Okay,
isn't
it's
very helpful.
Porge.
Yeah.
I put she's a friend of mine. I put this there.
Imagine two people like, I can't find this fucking thing Willow was talking about. It's like, did you spell it wrong? It's like, oh.
Spell it wrong? Yeah, it's like, yeah. That's where you missed out.
Yeah.
You have to spell it
Po
wrong.
Porge underscore music underscore raining underscore in underscore December. And hold on, I'm gonna find
Bedhead underscore band.
real, and I've been
Can
saying
y'all
that.
not just put like one like name, just like put together? You don't say underscore or dash or any of this shit. You can just say, look us up at Raining in December on Instagram.
Nah,
Ah,
It's just one word. Yeah.
nah. Go fuck yourself, Aaron. Fuck you.
All right. It was nice to meet you again. Hope you've been well. Um, I don't know what this was, but apparently it was an interview which the new hot Dublin two-piece Shallow. Apparently
Yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah.
real.
And I've been
Well,
saying that.
Sean, do you have any words of wisdom to impart on these people as we leave now?
Um, Go to Jollibee, Filipino fast food.
So now you're just advertising shit on this.
Yep.
We're
Word
not
of
even
wisdom.
sponsored. I'm not getting money for this. Willow, you said you wanted to shout out Squarespace to help you make they're sponsoring you. What's the discount code again?
I absolutely did. The discount code is Stream Faith and Restart by Rating December on Spotify. Um,
Oh my gosh, Sean, he's advertising his other band. Do you feel cheated on? Because remember we were talking earlier about how monogamy is the only sustainable
no,
relationship, and that
I'm a little.
polyamory is disgusting and evil. According to Willow, I don't care now. Obviously,
Well, you see,
I'm
I think the key difference there is I'm a little whore for my bands.
Yeah. Yep.
oh, said it. I thought there was something
Yep.
more.
No, that's all.
I'm a little horror for my band,
Just a
so
whore.
okay. Yes.
Perfect. Sick.
I guess it's over. I don't know. I find the taste really hard to
I
grasp
can't
here.
tell.
I'm finding it really hard to grasp here. I feel like I'm on edibles or some shit.
Me too.
We should do some like right now, like right after this podcast. We should do some edibles.
I would
Right
love
now.
that actually.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you have
go-
to do work. You have to do college work. You have to
I,
finish up them.
I'm actually going to therapy in 2 hours
Okay.
I'm going to see my girlfriend. Is that the same thing?
Yes.
because my
What
brain is
if
broken.
what if your girlfriend was Willow's therapist?
She studies psychology, so honestly, it could be in the future.
Sure, there would be like massive like ethical problems with
Yeah,
that.
confidentiality
Yeah, what would
thing.
you do, Sean, if like every time like your girlfriend came home from one of Willow's sessions, now obviously you don't know what they're saying, but you just know the hour, so you know it's like 7 o'clock is like Willow's time or whatever. And every time like she does a session with Willow, she's like suddenly not that interested in you for the evening. How would you feel?
It's because I'm actually being like Sean's so fucking stupid, and I hate him so much in the sessions.
And she's like, tell me
It's
about
like, that's
that.
interesting. Yeah, tell me more.
Sean says his girlfriend, who I don't know, is like a bitch.
He goes, no, like really, she says.
No, Laura, if you're listening, stop listening.
She's not. She did not. No one's made it this far.
She stopped listening after you said you would fuck one of like if you like fuck
Yeah.
enough.
What would you do if that was like your birthday surprise? Like, I was listening to that podcast.
It's like, you should
And
listen
then
to
JD
this.
Vance just comes out. He's like, "Hello." You didn't say thank you. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. You too.
That was shallow, everyone.
Very chaotic. Chaotic 2 hours. Let's go.
Yeah. No one's gonna listen to this, but it was nice talking to you.
Yeah,
Someone will.
I
Bye-bye.
will.
Bye.
Bye. Everyone time code your favorite part.
Then
Then send
put
it
your
to Willow.
timestamp in the comments.
Put your timestamp in the comments. What was your favorite part? And then Willow will respond to everyone saying why you're right or wrong.
Like, yeah, correct.
Incorrect.
All right.
Alright,
Take care.
bye.
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 Wait, you guys are shallow.
Yeah, actually, so here's how we started.
Wait. You play drums. How did you get those? No.
How did I get them?
Where'd you get them from?
I got them secondhand from some guy in like
Is this still
Donegal when I was
going?
16.
Wait?
There's no structure to
We
this.
said
I want this to
bye,
be
like,
most
twice.
easy. I know, yeah, but I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today,
I
so I'll just like let
I
it go.
I got them
I feel like I have no
secondhand.
control over my life,
Nah.
over this
No,
podcast either.
yeah, when I was 16, I got them secondhand and from some guy in Donegal, where I spent a night at this place, and it was 100% haunted.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nice.
All right, bye. Thank you for listening to that episode of Post-Burnout.com interviews. If you liked it, please subscribe and stick around because we have plenty more like this coming soon.